What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Idiot Brothers. I've got Season 5 for you of Home Wars here. The story behind this one is we're actually leaving off where General lost the Veranda's Breach House in Season 2. The bugs have mutated since last season. We're going to leave the food abundance all the way up. We're going to leave the bugs for Swarm at very high. We're going to leave, obviously, the max enemies on screen to 1,000, except the enemy's health and the enemy attacks are now going to be at 150% up from 100% where we had them before. So basically, the Red Army men have moved in and are attempting to retake Veranda's Breach from the bugs that have taken a foothold. Let's begin. We obviously do not need a tutorial, so let's see what we have. So obviously they get very quick access to the kitchen, which is not going to be great for us. There is Veranda right there, which is going to be the ultimate goal, the Veranda. Let's see here. Got the first bathroom, we got the master bed, we got the hallway to our immediate area. We have the hall and the living room immediately outside of that. Alright, so it looks like the plan of action is we're going to want to cap these 4 rooms. We're going to want to secure it. We're going to want to try to hold the hall and the living room initially. So for this particular season, I have some new restrictions to place on myself. So normally I always say take the marksmen, take the snipers. They are insanely good. However, I have decided that they are not going to be part of the repertoire of things I have access to. And we're going to be investing a lot more into air support this season, I do firmly believe. So we're going to start with our supply truck sapper. And we're going to get our base rifleman. We could have just went straight into the recon vehicle, however, I don't feel like that would be such... Well, I mean, I know it is a good idea, and I know there is a cheese strat with it. However, we're going to avoid using the cheese strats. So we're going to go to the rifleman straight out the gate. We're going to head to the headquarters. We're going to manage it. We're going to get our plastic factory up. We're going to get our our metal factory up. And we are going to get our power station up. And that will be all of, well, I think we can hold off a few turns. Let's put the plastic factory up so we can get 1,200. So we're obviously not going to get any resources day 1. We're going to end the day there. Get some resources. I do have the day-night cycle turned on at this point. I remember in the last campaign I did not have it turned on. However, I have it turned on this time around. So we're going to start recruiting. We're going to get 5 riflemen. We're going to create that army. We're going to recruit. We're going to get 5 more. And we're going to do that until we have a couple of units here. We are going to get one with a sapper. This is going to be the army that the rest of the units merge into. So we're going to cap the sun's bedroom, which will give us our basic income for the turn. As you can see, nothing. There is no movement from the bugs as of yet. They usually take a turn or two. We got all of our standard ammunition start. Let's see, what is our... So we're positive across, except for batteries. We're obviously going to have to deal with that pretty quickly. Rough plastic and rough metal, we're going to have to work on that. But that will naturally come as we progress into the other rooms. So the bugs have begun pushing. So we're going to get all of our units moving forward. We're going to manage headquarters. We are going to need the power station. So we're going to get that online. I want to get another plastic factory down. However, we simply don't have the resources to do so. So what I think we'll do is we'll recruit some more rifles. So we will have an extra unit of rifles there. We will end the day there since we can't move out of the hallway as of yet. I believe they will move into the kitchen this turn. Okay. Alright, they did not. That's going to be our main force, so we're going to just kind of move these smaller units into there. We're going to move the main force into there. We're going to spread ourselves out a little bit. We want to get as much resources as possible. We're going to want to deny the bugs as many resources as possible. Let's head on into the headquarters here. Get another plastic factory online. Actually, I think it might be imperative that we pick up a military academy next turn instead, as we are not getting any XP for unlocks as of this moment. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to pick up the plastic factory, and I'm going to do that because that'll help us get more riflemen out, and I think the key to winning the early game, because we don't have marksmen or riflemen, is going to be to get as many riflemen onto the board as possible. We can have 200 on the field at one time. I don't have any supply trucks as of right now, so that is going to have to be a problem I'm going to have to remedy, at least in the next turn. They have moved into the kitchen, so let's begin recruitment. We're going to recruit. Let's throw in a bunch of rifles. We're going to throw in 2 sappers, and then we're going to throw in 3 supply trucks, because we definitely need to start getting supply trucks onto the board. We're going to move up there. We're going to move up there. We're going to at least capture that. Get these 2 armies moving back. Alright. Looks like we're doing pretty decent here. Next turn might be our first incursion with the bugs in the kitchen. We should be able to hold the second hallway with purely sappers. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Let's see. So we got decent income right now. We're positive across the board, so I will take that. Let's continue on. Yep, here they come. So that is going to be a lot of bugs and a lot of flyers. We don't have any supply trucks there, unfortunately. However, we do have sappers that are on the way, and we also have supply trucks that are also on the way. So we are going to attempt to fight that. We are going to recruit another army. We're going to do our standard setup, which is basically 25 rifles, 2 sappers, and 3 supply trucks. We're going to recruit that. We're going to get them out there. We want to get these up there ASAP. What else can we move up to the front? We can get some extra sappers and some extra infantry up there, and that will never hurt. Since there is 128 groups of bugs. We are going to ferociously attempt to hold against those bugs there, so let's fight it. Alright, so we don't have very many deployment points. We don't have much movement here to be moving around with, so what we're going to do is, basically, we're going to deploy all of our riflemen down. If we lose pretty quick here, we're going to be in a pretty bad spot. As you can see, I did change the color of the army men. So we're going to stay right here next to the supply. We are going to hunker down, get lots of defenses. They have a lot of flyers, so we are obviously going to get a lot of these down to help keep the flyers off of our guys. We're going to want to get some glue down, and then we are going to want to start working on a backup location for them to run should they need to. So let's get these down. Alright, we will put you on 1 and let it begin. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, that's a lot. Obviously, any damage that is dealt to the infantry I cannot heal because I do not have a supply truck up here, which is very unfortunate. Yep, and we're already taking losses. So this is very looking like it's going to be a get back over here, let the defenses do more damage, because we don't want to be losing too many rifles here in the first bit. So we got more battle points. Let's get more defenses down. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to just have them as far back as possible, which will help deal extra damage to the flyers. There's 88 groups remaining. I think we should be good on this. because they are taking a lot of damage. Our rifles probably won't be doing a whole lot of the work here. We are going to lose a couple, however, it's inevitable that we're going to take some losses here. We're really low on the battle points, so at this point, whatever we kind of lose here is going to be a permanent loss for us, which is not going to be great, but it could be worse. We're going to need some better positioning here, because they are not spreading out the damage at all. That is 2 dead thus far. That is 3 dead. They are about to make it to the guys, which the Flyers already have. Oh, our sapper is down. Yep. Get our sapper down. Put you on control group 1, because you are going to be necessary to holding this. We're going to need to get some more barbed wire down, because the ants are at this point destroying them. We need them to use some of these other ones. We need the Flyers to go down. Alright, well, and it looks like we are going to lose this fight. Not great, but we have some heavy reinforcements coming in the next turn, which should be able to deal with these bugs pretty easily. We did a lot of damage with what we had. Yep. So they have very little left, which is not good for us. I don't think we get the XP for this, unfortunately, which is going to suck. Yeah, we don't get the XP. Alright, well, that is kind of garbage, but we will make do. So obviously, we're just going to have to let them have it for this turn. We're obviously not going to charge these units in there. There's just no way. We're going to bring the main armies forward. We're just going to have to retreat from that and give them that put them halfway through level 1 already, so that's not great for us. Headquarters. Let's see what we can invest in here. We're definitely going to want another metal factory. However, we're going to pick that up. We're going to want to get a military academy pretty quick soon thereafter. I think we can get another army up, so let's do that. 2 sappers and 3 supply trucks, and create. So that's going to be our standard unit for this, for the early game, at least until we can get some solid pushage. I'd like to stop them before they get too far forward. It looks like we have ants here. It looks like they're trying to move here, but they're getting glitched into the guys here, which might actually glitch out the game. So there we go. Okay, so they're just glitched there. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this army up. We're going to merge these two together. There's no point in leaving them separate anymore. This unit's going to move up. We got enough for our military academy, so we're going to go put that up. So we are going to head to the headquarters. We are going to put up a military academy. We're going to have to look at investing in another power station here on the next turn. Let's see. So obviously we're going to have to defend that, which means retreating and giving them even more of a push into level 1 / towards level 2, which is not good for us. So we're going to defend this. It's just 150 bugs. This is obviously probably going to be a sapper fight. So we've all seen sapper fights in the past, but I'm going to leave this one in since it's the first sapper battle of the season. So we are basically just kind of going to slap down a bunch of barbed wire and let the sapper do its job. Make sure that we can retreat should we need to, and make sure that there is enough barbed wire there. So basically nighttime reduces the range at which we see the bugs, which kind of sucks, but yeah, they should be starting to go down pretty shortly here. The sapper does not have very good vision, so that is unfortunately going to be bad for us, but it's mostly ants, so we're in times for it. Yep, here they go. They're going to start dying in mass. There they go. There that one goes. So we're going to try to spread the damage out, because obviously we don't want them all coming down the middle. We want them using the other barbed wire. As you can see, their numbers are dropping pretty fast. Alright, so that row has started to go. Let that number climb. Why are they not? Okay, we're going to have to move over here now. Put some more barbed wire down just to make sure that we have enough coverage. We kind of want this line to get hit a little bit. There we go. 15 groups remaining reserve, 700 on the board. I think we have enough barbed wire here with what we've got. That's good because we're kind of running low on the old battle points up there. So they are not reinforcing anymore. So we're going to throw that in ×4. I don't even think we're going to get to... Oh, there they are. Alright, we're going to kind of drag them over here a little bit, get them to damage the other barbed wires. Alright, we're going to drag the sapper over here. Alright, and that is all of them. Let's ×1 real quick. Let's put all of our sappers down. We're going to run them on over. So with this season, I'm going to be looking into, I did say a little bit at the beginning, but I'm going to be looking into more air support. I'm going to be looking at mechanizing a lot quicker. I'm going to be looking at relying less on the infantry early on. I'm going to be looking at getting more artillery quicker, because obviously we're going to need them without the marksmen and such. It's always loud. There we go. That'll be a huge injection of XP for us, because it's like 3,000 instead. Yep, 40 experience for us. I will take it. We get some refined metal out of it as well. Alright. Wish we would have gotten some extra batteries out of it, but can't always have everything. We can't move all of the units. So I'm thinking what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to set up a fortification right here, or take the second hallway, set up fortifications there, quickly snag the office and the second bedroom, and then we're going to want to make a quick push for the kitchen, hopefully before they hit level 2. Obviously, as we've seen with last season, that's not always how this goes. And they have quite a significant advantage when it comes to that. Let's see. All right, we don't have anything outside of that yet, so let's look at our unlocks here. We might want to invest in, well, I mean, it's just missiles. Missiles are kind of expensive. Honestly, I don't really care for this line too much. It's just not great at the end of the day. You can just get you can get so much better things. Honestly, I'm gonna miss not having these units. but that is future me problem. I think the 150mm howitzer and the light helicopter are going to be my first two unlocks because we want to get some aircraft going pretty quickly. Um, so let's look at our headquarters here. We don't have enough metal to really do much of anything, so we're going to end the day there. We're going to move on to the next day. They have pushed into the office, which means this unit is going to have to push into this room, the living room. Otherwise, we risk losing it. I'm not sure what is... Okay, so it's the remnants of those armies. Alright, so... And that's just to defend the outpost, right? Oh, destroy the enemy outpost. Okay, so we're going to let that sit there for a minute. We're going to go back here. Manage our headquarters. We need the power station, so we're going to build that power station. That'll help us keep our power positive, and all of our resources are still positive. Let's manage our headquarters here. I'd love to get another plastic factory and have 2,400 plastic coming in per turn, especially since we're still stuck with infantry for the time being. I'm not going to worry about incendiary or toxic ammo factories. Don't need to worry about scavenger teams because we're not going to have we're not having a resource problem. I'm probably not going to worry about satellites too much. That'll help us with batteries a little bit. Let's see, can we get another military academy? No, so we're going to be waiting a couple of turns for that. We're definitely going to want to pick up another military academy though. So we're going to defend this. And then after we're done defending that, I think we're going to push for the second hallway and we're going to attack that. We're going to try to cut their food supply off as quick as possible. So this season might not go on for very long, considering this house is a fairly easy house to run through. But we will see. So let's... Yeah, because we have trucks this time around. So we're going to drop all of our riflemen down. Our 1 zapper and our 6 trucks. Start the fight. Get on 1, get our barbed wire down as quick as we can. Then we want to get these down as quick as we can as well, because obviously they have quite a bit of flyers and I don't want us to lose our guys. Trucks, I think we're going to do 3 each side because we want them to stay in range. We're going to just stop you there because we want them to stay in range of the supply depot. So we should see the bugs here very shortly. So I think how we're going to run this is daytime is going to be our offense time, and nighttime is going to be where we kind of sit tight and defend for a little bit, because obviously having our site cut off very early is not great, especially because we don't have any forward scouting units. 60 rifles should be able to hold, okay, maybe not. That should be good enough to hold this off, because I don't think there's really... Yeah, there's not much there. We might lose a few riflemen here and there, but it's just the reality of it. Our supply truck should do a good job of keeping our infantry topped off, though, so I think we should be good. Lots of ants incoming. Alright, we're getting some relent of the flyers for a minute. It looks like most of the flyers are done and dusted. Now we just have the ants to worry about. Okay, so there's a little bit more flyers coming in, but whatever is not on the battlefield at this point is basically not getting reinforced because they are out of groups in reinforcement. So it looks like we are solid here. Um, we are about to lose our first line of barbed wire, which is not good, not great. But it's not really bad either because there's just not much left, so I think we're still good. Oh, that might be bad. We might lose a couple of guys here. All just depending. Nah. It looks like we have enough barbed wire here to finish off what is left, so I think we're good. I don't think we're going to take any losses here. Alright, and it looks like we did not take any losses here. Sweet. That is all of them. Let's get our sappers out. And we will go blow up that outpost. Oops, I forgot shift is not. Alright, let's just times for it since we obviously don't need to sit around. How are we doing on ammunition? So we are going to have to invest in some small caliber ammunition, otherwise we're just going to run out. Let's start blowing it up. Move away from that noise. There we go. Another successful one for the army men. Alright, not as much XP as I'd like, but it could be worse. Our sapper obviously did most of the work there. So it looks like we are sitting pretty good. That means we can make our offense into the next room. It looks like they've got quite a bit there. So we will do that in a minute. Oh, right, we can't move that. So let's go back here. We're going to recruit another army. We're obviously going to do our standard, which is 25 rifles, 2 sappers, 3 trucks. Oops, I want to remove that. Vehicles, 3 supply trucks. Recruit. Alright, so that army's up. Let's get this other battle on the road, shall we? We got 56 groups of flyers and 72 groups of ants, which means we're going to need more, we're going to need quite a bit more. Ooh, I don't like this. That is not good. Okay. Reinforcement infantry. So what we're going to want to do is, we're going to want to get all of our riflemen down, obviously. I'm going to put half and half on each side. We're going to do 1 sapper each side, 3 trucks each side. Because we have the extra time here, I'm not going to rush to get them too set up. Or I'm not going to panic anyway. As long as we can stay in range. So we got 860 points, which means we don't have a whole lot of points here to work with. This could be good, this could be bad, this could work in our favor. It just depends, because we're going to need a lot of barbed wire to hold off that amount of ants. We're going to need anti-flyer stuff. I just don't think we have enough battle points to hold the line here, but we're going to try. Just make sure that they can get all of the infantry. There we go. Alright, so where'd the sapper go? Sapper. Put you on 1, back you up a bit. Put you on 2, back you up a bit. So here they come. We might have to take an L here. I'm hoping that we don't, but we are going to do our best. We're going to switch to heavy because we need the damage output. Alright, there is a huge incoming. Let's ×4 this. They should start dropping pretty quickly. Our base is taking quite a bit of damage. I think we should be good though. They are spread out a lot, so our riflemen will be able to effectively, hopefully, take stuff down pretty quickly. Alright, we have a casualty already, which is not great. We have a supply truck at 44 HP, which is also not great. Yep, we are going to take a loss here. We did take out quite a bit of them, though. So we took one loss. I'm not going to worry too much about it, since we can pressure them next turn. So we lost one rifleman. I'm not going to worry too much about it. They've got only about half of what they started with there left. This army will have to move into the office next turn. Obviously, we can't attack twice in one turn, so let's move on to the next day. Alright, so they are moving. Alright, so... oh, Lord. Alright, so we've got a pretty nasty predicament here. We could attack this and take that bug swarm out. However, that would leave us giving them the hall. They are level 2 now, which means we will start seeing level 2s. I believe we're going to relent on our attack on the second hallway, and we are going to head back to the hall to defend it. We are going to try to hold the living room as best as we can. There are just a ton of bugs here. Mostly ants, which means sapper fight, because we can hold most of it with a sapper. And then, let's see, can we unlock anything? It doesn't appear that we can. I would like the mech, but I'm thinking you have to unlock this whole tree. So, if I do have to unlock these, I will unlock these. However, I will not actually use them. But I do want to maybe work toward that. We do really need this recon vehicle, though. And this howitzer. That would be kind of great against their current situation, as well as maybe a supply heli. I don't really care for the damage multiplier. It's really not that great. It's not going to do a whole lot for you. So anyway, I think I'm going to end the video there. We are in a solid starting position. We've had a couple of hiccups here and there, but otherwise I think we're in a pretty solid starting position considering we control about half of the house. I will take that, and we've got pretty good production here at base. Let's see, can I grab anything? Maybe throw up a military. Yeah, I'm going to throw up a military academy just to make sure that we're getting that extra experience every turn. And anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.